Do you want to start talking about the Uncanny Valley now?
Sure, so...
Well, I'll let you take the lead on that because my video feeds into the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Right? These two do?
Yep.
And do you have a couple that feed into the Uncanny Valley?
No, because one was one of those ones, so... Got an itchy ear?
Throat. Sorry.
Alright,
I've just been sick forever since the dawn of time. And I'm sick to death of being sick.
Alright, so we're going to talk about the Uncanny Valley.
You can talk about the Uncanny. I mean, I understand it. I watched one video on it, and it's not that hard of a concept to grasp, but
yeah,
you're the one that told me about it, so I'll let you take credit for it.
Alright, cool. So the Uncanny Valley is basically people like things that look like humans until they get to a certain point. Then they start to look a little bit too real, but not real enough.
Yeah.
So it's in between being nearly human and fully human.
Yeah, it's that undetectable chasm from nearly human, which the thing that I was saying said that like studies people the closer to human something looks, whether it's an animation or an animatronic or something like that, the closer to human it looks, once it crosses this line of demarcation that is invisible, people tend to find it revolting because it's not quite human. So like if you have a robot that looks like, say, WALL-E or something like that, or a robot that walks and has opposable limbs and stuff, or an android or whatever you want to call it, then they love it and they think it's great, the general consensus, until you give it, silicon skin and teeth and facial expressions. But because they don't look fully human, the general consensus is that it's revolting, and people
creepy.
hate it, because it's not quite right. And like I've noticed that with, I think one of the animation examples they used was that Final Fantasy movie. I've never seen it because I've never actually really liked CGI of any kind. I've never, when they went back into the Star Wars movies, some of the things are okay. We're not going to talk about the elephant in the room. That one character that everyone likes to talk about.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
You don't?
No, I do.
Oh.
Sadly,
I don't like him. I don't know why. Anyway, but I
Lisa thinks he's great.
No! That's what I was wanting to do. But yeah, they went back and they digitally enhanced some stuff and added some things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I didn't mind some of the new characters in the canteen and stuff like that, but for the most part, I don't like CGI. Everyone goes oohs and ahs about Jurassic Park and whatnot, and I think I probably, it's impressive, it's a great movie, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm just not really into copious amounts of CGI, because to me it's always detectable. I can always tell when they've drawn in the CGI, so I'm always like, that's a great movie, that's a great movie, that's a great movie, and to me, in my head, I automatically switch off, where I'm like, and now it's Sharknado. Like, I don't like CGI, I never have. I'd rather it be like stop animation or clay animation or just anything but CGI. I've never liked it. It's never looked real enough to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if you go into something knowing the whole thing is CGI, like Avatar, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I liked that because I didn't expect any of it to be like hyper realistic. I expected the whole thing to kind of be,
pretty
manipulated.
damn CGI.
Yeah. But I think Final Fantasy, they sold that like it was going to look the same as watching a movie. And it didn't, and the people looked so CGI to me. But then you can't really put your finger on what makes them look so CGI, because they had the skin textures and the pores and the facial hair, and they had all of it. Like they had the hangnails and like it on a hi Cream Puff, on a animation level, it would have been a miraculous work. But to me, I was just like, and it's just a really detailed cartoon. Yeah. And we all know how I feel about cartoons.
You love them!
So I totally understand that nearly human versus fully human. And I think that the androids and stuff in these videos we're going to talk about are most creepy because they clearly are trying to look human and they're just missing the mark.
Yeah, but then they do. They look human.
They look human, but then they don't.
No.
They don't look human, but then they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to start by talking about...
It's my turn.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to let you talk about it anyway, but...
Well, yeah, because it was mine.
Yeah, well, it was yours, except I had it on my list too.
Yeah, I told you about it. So, anyway, so what we're saying?
We're talking about we're about to talk about Tara.
Tara.
See, this is the thing. Last time we talked about this, you said Tara, and I thought you said Tara.
No, Tara. Anyway, her name is Tara.
Yep.
Tara to Americans, Tara to Australians. Anyway, the name of the video is I Feel Fantastic. And it's a video of this android, I think is what they're calling her.
Yep.
Robotic humanoid named Tara, whatever. Tara, I think, because it's American. And she's essentially just kind of standing in a window inside. And her body is quite large in comparison to her little head. And she's wearing weird mixed match clothes, and she just sings I Feel Fantastic, hey, hey, hey. And then later in the song she says I feel fantastic, and then she says run, 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 run. Well, she sings it. Watch the video. Here's a screen grab of it. So the story, well, you can't really find out any facts about it. I've tried. But essentially, she was, as the story goes, what first started out as, and the video is like dispersed with these weird close-ups of a backyard of some kind.
Yeah.
And it's like zooms into just like weird random locations in that backyard that doesn't look to be anything worthy of filming. Mm-hmm. So the kind of conspiracy, supposed allegedly story behind that was the guy that created Tara and filmed the videos was a serial killer, and Tara was dressed in the victim's clothes, and all of those zoom in shots of the garden where his victims were buried. So of course people like me were like, I want to get to the bottom of this. And so there's this one chick, and her screen name for YouTube is like something goddess, or we'll insert it here. I'll research it and let him know. But she found out that the guy whose channel it was, his name was John Bergeron. And she posed as someone from a robotics department, or she was actually in a robotics department and was actually writing this paper. Anyway, she got a hold of this guy's phone number somehow, because 2017, 15, 16, whatever, and called him and was just going to ask him a few questions to kind of put to rest this serial killer thing, and to see if he had created Tara on his own at home with bits and bobs, because she looks kind of homemade. And the phone call is super awkward. He won't engage with her at all, and she keeps saying, oh, you know, I'm calling from the robotics department of blah, blah, blah. She says some name of a well-known school. And I'm just doing a paper on Tara, and I wanted to ask you a few questions. And essentially, he just shuts her down. I don't have time for this. He won't acknowledge that it's John Bergeron. He won't acknowledge that he created Tara. He won't even acknowledge that he knows anything about this video that she's asking about. And he essentially just kind of hangs up on her. You heard the phone call. He's just kind of like, nope, disengage, and hangs up.
Hello.
Hello, is this John? Is it John Bergeron?
What's this about? I got a lot of things I need to do.
Of course, yes. My name is Kendra. I'm with the robotics department at University of British Columbia, and I was just calling. Were you the person who did the Tara the robot by chance? I'm working on a story about it.
The problem is, I got a lot of things I really need to do. I don't have time to talk.
Okay. Would it be easier if I could email you by chance?
Yeah, I just don't have the time to deal with this.
Okay. Have I got the right person at least?
I gotta go.
Have I got the right person? Okay.
So the myth is that he's a serial killer, created Tara, blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of where it dies, because they can't find out anything else about it. And the creator of this video, and I think now the original video has been taken down, and it's just been reshared by other people who are like intrigued by it, because the original video and original channel don't exist anymore. Don't exist. I know that everything on the internet exists forever. But on YouTube, that channel's been, you know, deactivated or whatever. So that's the I Feel Fantastic. She's creepy as she falls into that whole, you know, kind of Uncanny Valley category, because she's just so bizarre, and you know, she's a robot, so she can't feel anyway. So for her to say, I feel fantastic. And the music is so kind of like animatronic. It's so bizarre. It's just weird. And it's one of those things that I've watched 1,000 times and been kind of like, still don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, me either. And then that goes also into also the hand thing as well with the Uncanny Valley.
You still doing that hand thing? That actually actually was introduced to us by our nephew, Sammy. He's always finding us. Well, actually, it's him and Robin that share the kind of weird sense of humor they share. Because they'll always watch something and be like, oh, it's hysterical. And Robin will just flog it at home. Because he lives in Melbourne. We get to go see him soon, actually. I'm really excited. But he'll always find these videos and him and Robin will watch it. And they share it and they laugh and laugh. And I'm always kind of like, that's so weird. But the hand thing is one of them. And the hand thing, that's the name of the video, the hand thing, it's here. It's not really animatronic.
No.
It's people, but they wear these weird kind of half doll masks and bad wigs. And one of the characters in it has like
mannequin arms.
They're kind of like, but I think they're like child mannequin hands. Or something. They're not like full size mannequin hands, but I think he holds on to them, and he does this weird like clicky clacky hand thing with the mannequin. Anyway, it's weird, and the whole story with these people, and I can never remember the chick's name that does the hand thing, but there's several videos, and she was like a burn victim, and so that's why she wears the mask and has the fake hands. But I think she's also like a tweaker or something. Like it's just so bizarre. And she just kind of sits at home all day and kind of goes and does this weird hand thing. And
just still doing that hand thing.
Yeah, and neighbors pop in. You still doing that hand thing? And she's like and they're like, oh, what is that? Like it's just weird. It's another one of those weird videos, and I think the reason it's so unsettling is because she's clearly a human.
Yep.
But doesn't appear what we expect humans to actually look like.
Yeah.
So it's why that whole living doll, not the women that get the plastic surgery to look like dolls. You know, there's those handful of people that get the plastic surgery. But for some weird reason, predominantly English men over the age of 60. Have you noticed that in the docos?
Actually, I have, yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like these men that buy these elaborate silicone suits. And they just kind of zip into them, face and all, and they end up being these like hyper made up kind of doll ladies. But
they're like Barbie dolls.
Yeah, but the whole thing is a suit. And you see the old ones. We'll insert a couple of pictures here. Some of the old ones are the old suits before they kind of mastered latex and silicone and stuff. Are creepy as. But even they go out and they walk around and they like wave to people, hello, and they speak, and because it's a mask, it moves kind of with your jaw, but it's so disturbing. And I'm not really one to judge anybody on their fetish or kink or hobby or anything, their own particular brand of crazy. I don't judge anybody on any of that, but it's just a little unsettling because they're human-ish, but not quite human. So it's that whole Uncanny Valley thing. It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, it doesn't sit right in my stomach.
No. And imagine how hot those suits would be as well. Side note, as someone that's tried to wear pantyhose in the summer in Texas, a full silicone. Maybe that's why they're all English, because it's so miserable in England.
Yeah, this is a bit of warmth.
Yeah, but it's bizarre.